Welcome back. Chapter 12. This is nice, isn't it? Us just being girls together on a Sunday afternoon, Cece said, beaming at Michi across the table at Chili's. Yes, it is, Michi agreed. I'm glad you could get away. How's business anyway? Of course, it's only been a week, but so far it's going really well. I think we're going to do fine. Water filling up. Somehow I thought you'd have to be chained to your computer, typing away. Are your friends minding the store? Cece felt a twinge of annoyance that Mitchie, despite having been firmly told by Norrell that the partners were mere typists, continued to make condescending remarks about their line of work. She pushed her irritation away, thinking of her promise to her mother to get along with her sister. Actually, Norrell's covering the help desk. For problems, we have instant message set up that whoever on duty checks constantly, she explained. Dana takes calls on her office line only in case of emergencies. She's the only one of us who has a separate phone line installed in her office, but it wouldn't be fair for her to have to take calls day and night. Some of our contractors prefer to work at 2 or 3 in the morning. No, I agree that Dana can't have her phone ringing at that hour, Michi said. She really seems very nice. I hope she's making it all right without her husband. Oh, she'll be fine, Cece said. She felt it would be disloyal to discuss Dana's financial problems with her sister. And it is. If she knew Michi, she'd find a way to take advantage of the situation. So the less she knew, the better. Are you all settled? Yeah, but I'll be glad to find an apartment. I'm not much for living in tiny spaces. I don't know how you... Ooh. Mitchie quickly broke off. She hadn't meant to say she didn't know how Cece stood it, but unfortunately she said enough so that her intent was pretty clear. Mitchie is messy. She decided to just keep talking. No point in apologizing. After all, she hadn't completed the statement, even if Cece probably knew what she'd been about to say. I've been looking at apartments and have even seen a few I like. Oh, where about? Mitchie took a moment to be grateful that Cece had let her blunder pass. All over town. One's in Riverside, one's in Southeast around Tinseltown, and one's at the beaches. The beaches is nice. That's where Norrell lives. Michi was glad Cece mentioned Norrell. She'd been curious ever since meeting Norrell the other night at Wild Wednesday. Dana and Cece had both dressed nicely for the occasion, but Michelin recognized that the turquoise suit, alligator pumps of the same color, matching shoulder bag, and jewelry Norrell wore were expensive. Michi expected all of Cece's friends to be struggling housewives. Ooh, she petty. Norrell didn't fit the profile, and she would love to know the story behind it. Does she? She said now. I'll bet it's nice. Oh, it's real nice. She just got married a little over a year ago. First time? Yes. Her husband's about a dozen years older than she is, and he's pretty well off. They have a beautiful house. It's not all that close to the water, but it's real nice just the same. Jewel tile floors, dream kitchen, a patio with pool between the 2 downstairs bedrooms. Mitchie nodded. So Norrell had a well-off older husband. That explained why she could dress so nicely. Hell, she married somebody who was 40 in a heartbeat if it meant she could dress like Norrell did, and if he could satisfy her sexually. If a time came when he couldn't keep up with the program, she'd divorce his ass and get a nice settlement, of course. Cece leaned forward and spoke in a low voice. Mitchie, can you keep a secret? Sure. Cece leaned back. I'm pregnant. Mitchie's response came quickly. Are you kidding? No. I had my tubes tied, but apparently it fell. That happens sometimes, even after the first year. Can you sue your doctor? No, I signed a form accepting that possibility. I haven't had time to schedule an appointment with my doctor yet to tell him. That's nice and all, sis, but where are you going to put it? She signed. Michael has been talking about remodeling ever since before we got married. We need it desperately. You've seen how cramped the girls are. I told him that with a new baby coming, we should just buy a bigger house. That makes sense. He's mad at me. Why, for heaven's sakes? Because he feels I got pregnant on purpose to force him to make a move. That's silly. I know, but he's annoyed at the money we'll have to put out each month on a bigger house. He lived in his house for 11 years. The mortgage payment is $469. Wow, that is hard to give up. I'll have to pay about $700 for a decent apartment. It might not happen. He says he won't spend more than $150 on a new house. Mitchie shrugged. I'm no real estate pro, sis, but in today's market, wouldn't that buy a house about the same size as the one you've got now? That's exactly right. So what's the point? At least with the house we've got now, we know all it's a little idiosyncrasy. You know, which floorboards creak and which faucet handle is a little hard to turn. Adding on will be cheaper than buying a new house. It'll also be a structural and living nightmare, Cece declared. I hate houses that have rooms added on. You can always tell because the two parts never match. She smiled sheepishly at the irony of confiding in her sister, something she never expected to do. Thanks, Mitchie. I just felt like I had to share that with somebody. I hate putting my problems on Dana, and I like to put off telling Norrell I'm pregnant as long as I can. Mitchie immediately perked up. Oh, why's that? Because she's having trouble trying to get pregnant. She even had some surgery done on her reproductive system, but they told her she probably won't ever have a baby. Oh, how sad. How does her husband feel about it? He worries about how she feels. This is a second marriage for him, and he already has a couple of kids, so it's not a great tragedy for him personally. It has pleased Mitchie to hear that Norrell, with her fancy wardrobe, her diamonds and sapphires, and her beautiful beach house, had fertility problems. That is messed up. In her opinion, no one should lead a charmed life unless it was her. That's selfish. Look at Dana. She had a nice house too, in a pretty neighborhood, and drove a nice cream-colored, full-equipped Camry, but Mitchie sensed she had financial problems because she'd been a little too eager to get Michelin to rent her spare room. Cece hadn't volunteered any information, probably out of loyalty. Mitchie decided not to press the issue, although, as with Norrell, she would have loved to know the background history. You never knew when information might come in handy. So, how was your weekend? Cece asked. Any hot dates? Oh, I went out on Friday night with a nice guy. I met him at Wild Wednesday. Ah, you just met him. Tell me about him, Mitchie. She shrugged. He's just an ordinary fellow. I think we can have some fun together. Now it was her turn to lean forward eagerly. So tell me, when do you start house hunting? We're going out this afternoon. What about you? What's your plans for the rest of the day? I'm getting together with one of my old friends. You remember Yolanda from Riviera Beach? Just vaguely. It's been so long. Is she here in Jacksonville now? Yes. She's married and she just had a baby. Mitchie sat back in her chair, happy to have successfully changed the subject. For the less said about her Friday night date, the better. That's the end of chapter 12. Okay, all I got is that Mitchie is petty and selfish because why she thinks she's the only one in the world that's supposed to be happy and having good things and stuff like that. And what else do I have? I think Mitchie gonna blow Cece's cover of being pregnant in Norrell's presence, and I don't know how Norrell's gonna take it. Is this gonna push her to drink further? But yeah, that's all I got for chapter 12. I'm gonna see y'all in chapter 13. Bye.